is you don't need to practice a lot, but you need to understand why each choice is wrong. And it's a very interesting way to study. Is you're not trying to do a lot of question, even though we do a lot of question, but do you understand each question and why is each choice is wrong? And I think that's the biggest thing. Let's start with first 10 question. Any question you want me to go over?
Go over three.
Okay, number what? 8. Okay, let's start with the 8. I heard a lot of requests for 8. Okay, 8. Um, so the key things you have to read is there is a 50 right here. How many guys? How many guys read that? Um, so if you read that, you already win half the bottle. That's just a initial condition at t equal to 4. Do they also have to be t equal to 0? Not necessary. You start at t equal to 4, so they are 50. Oil's been pumping in a rate of R of t measured right Riemann sum. So right Riemann sum basically look at our phone start from the right. So you are using those 3 values, and each value is gonna multiply by the width. Width is gonna be 3, and the width is gonna be 5, and widthness is gonna be 3. So it'll be 3 times 5.6 plus 5 times 5.9 plus 3 times 6.2 and plus 50. And I don't know what the answer is.
I didn't do the initial condition.
Could you go over three?
That's why I say if you read anything, make sure you pay attention initial condition. Just double make sure. Don't just read the chart because take things like paragraph like this, read the initial condition. What's the next question?
Could you go over three?
3, sure. 3.
Okay, listen, I got it wrong. I didn't know how to do it.
3 is a sexy 10.
Yeah, plus 50 because of the.
It's just what we have to.
What's the derivative of things is gonna give you a sexy 10?
Okay. Yeah, I wait.
So if you have d to the dx of which thing is equal to secant x 10 of x, so this has to be secant of x. Now since you integrate, so it go backwards, so that must be a. Oh, come on, you got this. It's easy.
Very fancy for that.
Can you do 9?
2. Number 9 is wait. Oh, number 9. Oh, okay. So they say the f is continuous, right? So that means limit x approach to the left and right. In this case, it's going to be 2 of 2x plus 1 of x minus 2 over x minus 2. It must equal to k. Why that is? Remember the condition for continuous? A says f of a has to define. B says limit x approach to a has to exist. And C it says limit as x approach to a of f of x is equal to f of a. So if we approach to a, it must equal to f of a, so that's equal to the k because k is f of a. Now what happened is also this is also cancel out because that is thing. So then it's 2 plus 1, 2 squared plus 1 is equal to 5. 5 is equal to k. Is that right? Did you get it right? I don't know. I'm not looking at the answer, so possibly I make some stupid mistake. But so far, I'm probably doing okay.
Why would you be with eight? I think I plugged in K.
But it has to equal to k. That see because technically this is gonna be something like this. There's a hole here, and then that hole has to be k because that's at 2, right? So this is at 2. It's gonna be something like that. Actually, it's probably something
Wait,
like The answer is wrong.
Yeah. I don't-
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, what if you just straight line up?
Yeah, straight line. It's a straight line. It's a straight line with a hole. Next question.
Oh, could you do 11? Actually, okay, no, no, no.
11 is a great question, so I'm gonna go with 11 for sure. So you have to understand the graphing. Now, this question is not on graphing calculator part; it's actually on the thing. So you had to a little bit of able to break down informations. So when you break down information, let's think about this. This here has two possible things, right? When x is greater than 2, then you're gonna have x. Remember that we told you that absolute value x minus 2. Absolute value x is 2 here. This one is going to be x minus 2. And this part is going to be negative x minus 2. That's the absolute value part. So this is the absolute value function of x minus 2. So on the right side, so that basically break down to two functions when x minus 2, when x is greater than 2. Negative x minus 2 when x is less than 2. Does that make sense? Okay. So with that being said, okay, well, if it's x minus 2, if you plug in, that's probably, and with the absolute value, it's going to be like 1, 2. When you plug in 2, it's going to give you 0. When you plug in 3, it's going to give you 1. When you plug in, let's say 6, it's going to give you 2. So it's probably some type of square root equation. Does that make sense? And turns out if you absolute value this part, it's just going to be, let's just say imagine if you plug in 1. What happens if you plug in 1? 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So it'd be like this, right? And if you plug in that says negative 2, negative 2 is going to be like this. So it's basically going like this. And still square root. So it's going to be like this. So with this question, I would tell students, like, if you understand this graph, it doesn't mean anything. Now, remember, continuous. This is continuous at 2.
Yeah, it is because
It is continuous at 2. So they say it's not continuous. So this one is off. And it's because this one is continuous. If f is differentiable at 2, no. It's not differentiable at 2, right? Imagine there's a roller coaster. What will happen? It's a connected roller coaster. But if you have a roller coaster like this, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to go in, you're going to die there. So differentiable is more like, are they smooth? They're not smooth. They have drastic change of slope. So
smooth,
like this, like this is smooth,
yeah,
right?
Is it that the
Slope on the left and equal to slope on the right all the time. No sharp turn. Yeah, sharp turns. So sharp turn is not differentiable. In this case, it's a sharp turn. So it's definitely not differentiable because this is not, because it's sharp turn. But it's, it's continuous but not differential. This was a good choice. If limit x plus 2 is not equal to 0, no, it has to equal to 0. Because look at this. This is equal to 0. This has to equal to 0. And is x equal to 2 a vertical asymptote? No. Instead of vertical asymptote, what is it? What does that mean?
Like a, I forgot the word, but it's like a, almost like a reflection.
Oh, no.
What is it?
It's called vertical tangent. Well, think about it. This is a horizontal tangent, right? This is a slope equal to 0, right? Now, what is a vertical tangent? Vertical tangent looks like this. Because slope here is a straight line, so it's a vertical tangent. So it's actually, if they say vertical tangent, it would be the right statement as well. But instead they say vertical asymptote. So you understand a lot of concept in one question. You're not trying to do a mini question. You're trying to understand one question why those choices are not. Because each choice is going to provide you a different perspective. I told people like this. I have students who do 12 exam on SATs, got 800, And I also have people do 2 exam got 800s on math. And so the people who do 2 exam just they do the 2, but they understand why each concept is not. So each question can be 5 different questions pretty much. So you're not trying to do a lot of questions. You're trying to do now time. You have to do it within the time. The problem is the time. Do you guys get it so far? Let girl ask. You ask a lot. Sorry.
13.
13. So are you the same question?
Yeah.
Oh, 12 is really good too. Oh, 13. 13. Okay, so 13, there was 2 ways to do this. On the grade book, there was a question like this, except they are much harder. On the grade book, it was like something like this: x f of x dx. So that makes that each side of the piecewise had to multiply by x. But in this case, it's actually a much better question, much easier question at least. So basically, I will draw this graph. At least I know how to draw the piecewise function. How do I draw 2?
Oh, it's just x minus 1 and then from there just 2.
It's a horizontal line, right?
Yeah.
1,
Should we
2.
always try to graph piecewise function?
Well, it's easier for you to see, but you don't necessarily. I'm going to show you 2 results. What happens if you graph it? What happens you don't? And you've got x minus 1, so it's going to be right here, right here, right here, right here. So it's going to be like something like this. And 2, 5. Now, what happened is you have to understand the piecewise need a break to 2 pieces. It'll be 1 to what? 3 of f of x, right? Well, f of x here is 2, right? Dx. And the plus from 3 to 5 because you had to break. You had to find out area between that. So it'll be x minus 1 dx. So I'm going to show you a longer way to do this question. And this is a longer way. So integration of 2 is going to be 2x between 1 to 3. And plus integration of this is going to be x squared over 2 minus x between 5 to 3. So it's going to be 2 times 3 minus 2 plus integration of here is 25 over 2 minus 5 minus 9 over 2 minus 3. So far, do you guys understand? So that's equal to 6 minus 2 is 4. And this one's going to be, I add this 2 first. I subtract those 2 here first. 25 minus 9 is 16. 16 over 2 is 8. -5 plus 3 is -2. So it's equal to 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. Does that make sense?
Why are you including, like, when you're doing the integral from 1 to 2 dx, why are you including 3 as the upper bound?
Because 3 is where you become a different functions. So you had to break up to 2 pieces. When you do it, integrate, it's an area under the curve. But when x is greater than 3, it constitutes a different equation now. It's no longer 2.
No.
At least you can explain to her.
Well, this one, I did make a mistake. I did like my bound from 0 to 3, but it was like 2.
So, like, this is the sign, this is sign.
So like 1 is like less than, and then 1 is greater than. So for x minus 1, it's gonna be x, your bound is gonna be greater than 3, so from 3 to up to 5, because the original function is like 1 to 5, so 3 to 5. Then the other one is like 1 to 3, because it's less than 3. That is that makes sense. So
Oh,
that's how
yeah,
you get your
so it's like separated.
yeah. So it's 2 different functions, because it's like this here, 2, like x is like 1 to 3, and x greater than 3. You just your bound is gonna be something, which we have here is 1, 2, 3, and then here is gonna be 3.
Yeah, I mean,
To 5.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is separated.
Yay, Elise, good job. Celebration. Cheer for Elise.
You could also just do the trapezoid.
Exactly. This is the second way I was going to talk about. Second way I was going to talk about, this is 2, this is 2, so it's 4, right? And obviously this is 2, this is 4, because if you plug in 5, it's going to be 4. So it'll be 2 plus 4 over 2, that's base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2, times the width, which is 2, sorry, which is 5 times 2 is 2. So 2 cancel out, so 6 plus 4. That's equal to 10. Way easier. If geometrically, way easier. A rectangle plus one trapezoid. Trapezoid, right away, trapezoid, if you guys don't remember, is height times base 1 plus base 2 over 2. What happened? This is the base 1, this is the base 2. So 2 plus 4 over 2 times 2. So 2 and 2 cancel. And that's a speed of that. It's going to be about 30 seconds faster. And you gain time, you gain leverage. Sean, do you understand so far? Okay, so on the gray book, it was X. So what does that change if I put an X over there? Well, instead of 2, it'd be 2X, right? Instead of X minus 1, it'd be X squared minus X. Does that make sense? Darby, does that make sense? So on the gray book, it was a 1 to 5 of X f of X. So basically just multiply X on both sides. From between 1 to 3, 3 to 5. So that question can be changed. You cannot just memorize how to do this one. The question can alter, just play X over there, and things completely change. Okay, so boys, what's the next question? So that way we're not sexist. We're even. What? Ew, that's gross. Okay, so f of a g of x. So we have f of x is equal to square root x minus 3, x squared minus 4. And we have g of x is equal to 3x minus 2. And they say, hey, can you figure out what's f of g of x? At x equal to 3. Oh, you want to take a derivative at x equal to 3. So basically, it's going to be f prime of g of x times g prime of x. What'd you say? Am I doing okay? Because if you take a derivative of this, am I going too fast? I just take a derivative of f of g of x. Okay, well let's do it. Well, first of all, let's figure out what's f prime of x. What is f prime of x? It's gonna be x squared minus 4 to the 1/2. So it's gonna be 1 over 2 square root of x squared minus 4 to the negative 1/2, and then times 2x. What'd you say? So it's equal to x over square root x squared minus 4. And what is g prime of x? G prime of x is 3. And then you say, oh, okay. So now we want to plug in, so we want to figure out what g of 3 is. What is g of 3? We start from the inside because we want to f of g of 3. And then we say start with g of 3 first. So it's equal to f prime of what? If I plug in 3, I'm going to get what? 7. Does that make sense? N times g prime of 3. Are we okay here? Now we're going to plug in the g prime of 3, which is plug in 7 here. So it'll be 7 over square root of 49. So 7 times 7 is 49 minus 4 times g prime of 3, which is 3, which is equal to 7 square root of 45 times 3. So it's equal to 21 over 45. Now you do see some radical underneath. So that means implying you don't need rationalizing. Remember I told you rationalize is a lie. You don't have to rationalize the denominator. This is a perfect example. They didn't rationalize the denominator, but they did simplify the denominator. Do you know how to do factoring tree? So 3, 3, and 5. Did I tell you how to teach radical before? No? I was. I teach in a really bad class before, like really bad, algebra 1 for summer school. Woo! That was rough. That's average GPA about 1.3. So 3 of them have the same amount of your GPA right now. So I had to teach him like a very trap way of doing this. I say you got a we got 2 Chinese guy. It's gonna make friends with each other, and they're gonna try to escape. This is the trap house. It's surrounded by police.
I'm not surprised that you came up with that sort of story.
And we got 2 Chinese guy, and we have I don't know, a black guy because Whitney is anticipating this. So the Chinese guy is gonna try to escape because they have 2 friends, right? The index is 2, right? You're trying to escape, but one of them is gonna get shot. So it'll be 21, 3 square root of 5. Would you want to be a black guy getting shot? No. So I say the Chinese guy getting shot. So this one's gonna be 7 over square root of 5. By the way, I'm live streaming this, so make it viral. Yeah,
It's just that.
You're gonna get canceled.
it's okay. Chinese guy getting shot. It's not a black guy getting shot, okay?
Wow.
I mean, at least I think that they actually remembered that. At least it's.
Oh yeah, at least I remember. Remember, I got to all the 1.3 GPA able to simplify the radical. That's unheard of. And on the test, they were funny. They were like, "Oh yeah, trap house. One gonna get shot." Okay, like, literally saying that inside their head, and I can see that. So it'd be 7 over square root of 5. I think that's my answer. Is that correct?
Wow.
See, now you remember it all the time. How to simplify a radical. Proximal progenta. Next question. Oh, I love 17. That was a good question. What?
Oh, actually.
So the question is asking what is g of x, which one could be g of x, but we don't have a g of x. We have this statement right here. And this statement doesn't have a g of x. And if you pay attention, it actually does. Because remember, fundamental theorem of calculus says what? The first part of calculus says I can integrate this. If I integrate small g, what am I going to get? Big G. Right? G of x minus g of 2. Oops, that was not g, that's x. Are we okay here? And then we say, hey, we can take a derivative of this. If I take a derivative of this, it's gonna f prime of x, and this is g of x minus g of 2 times 0. So this kind of go away. So f prime of x is equal to g of x. Now we have an f. F looks like a straight function with a slope of maybe 2, so 1/2 x. So if I take a derivative of that, it's gonna give you this is equal to f of x. And if I take a derivative of that, it's probably equal to 1/2, which is a positive value, and it has a horizontal line. So it's not this one because this one's below x-axis, and this one is probably some type of x, but we only want a half, and this is probably something x squared, and there's some negative x squared. So the best thing is this one. A is the best choice. So does that make sense?
Sure. No.
Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Do you understand this part?
Yeah.
Okay, so you understand this part. But this graph is a f, right? F, I'm gonna take a derivative. This is probably some type of x because let's say slope, like y equal to mx plus b probably, right? if I take a derivative, it's going to give you m, right? The m is some type of positive value because slope is positive. So some type of positive value is just going to be a horizontal line. And that value is going to be the same all the way through.
Like before I second guessed myself, I had like this one rationality. I was like, oh, so it's like a slope. If I derive, I think I said if I derive it, it'll be 0. So let's just get this. And I was like, oh, you get 0 slope. Just get a straight line. It's probably one of those two. And then I was like, no, it's probably not. That's too easy.
Yeah, but 0 slope is going to be on a 0. It's going to be on x-axis. So you are halfway there. Is actually some type of positive value. Who asked this one? Okay, the boys ask next. Boys, any questions? Unless you want to give up your right.
19 and 20. I did not do.
Oh,
19 is fairly easy.
Did you get 19, 20 right? No. I didn't know how to even start with this.
19, you don't know how to start?
No, I know how to start.
Annotate the question. You got f is right here, right? And they say the slope is equal to 1/2. So what are you supposed to do when they ask slope? Derivative. Can I do what kind of rule am I using here? Quotient rule. Good. Low, d high, minus high, d low, over low low. Don't forget about low low. Did you forget about low low? Lolo, is that like a clothing line? Lululemon? Lululemon? I don't know why people like that clothing line. I don't like it. So it's equal to half. This one's gonna be 4 is equal to x plus 2 squared. Does that make sense? Cross multiply. And there's 2 ways to do this. I mean, dumb way will be like this. It'll be x plus 2. No, I mean, smart way will be like, a dumb way is going to be like this. Which is still going to get a weight done. Plus 4 equal to 4. And so it'll be x squared plus 4x equal to 0. And then you can factor out x plus 4. So x equal to 0, x equal to 4. Now, the only thing has 0 and 4 is d. So, but you have to plug in, just make sure. We plug in 0, so you get 0, 0, 0. And if you plug in 4, I'm going to get 4 over 6, which is 3 over 2, which is correct. D. Oh, yeah, it's -4. My bad, I read it wrong. So -4, I read it wrong. My bad. So -4 is going to be -4 over 2. So it'll be -4 2. See. Now there's another way, so x plus 2 squared is equal to 4, but this way is very risky because a lot of people cannot perform correctly because there's a plus minus 2. It's going to be -2 plus minus 2, so it'll be 0 and -4. So when you do it that way, it's more risky because you forgot square root both sides, you get plus minus. Did anybody forget that? You didn't forget it? Yeah, that's a wonderful thing SAT always tests. And people always screw up. Can you just remember plus minus, seriously?
Wait, where do you plug the 0? Do you plug the function?
I'll plug in the original function because try to get y value. Wait, when's the SAT score coming out?
What?
No way.
Actually, I could be wrong. I don't know.
I heard tomorrow too.
I found on her Instagram story. She's like 10 days.
Don't you want to remind yourself of
Oh, can you do 22?
Yes, please.
22 is easy.
And 21, can you do tell us not
21 and 22.
Well, did you do? Okay, so did you do what do you do about this? this is a reading question. I'm gonna say which part of the things that you did not read. I'm gonna ask you that. Which part of the thing you did not read? There was a one word you probably did not read if you got it wrong. No. Value. What does value mean? Value. Why you? Jesus, draw a damn line on it. There you go. So f prime of x, you probably did it right. Low d high minus high d low over low low. You probably did this one right. You did a hard part right. Y minus natural log of x over x squared. You got 1 minus natural log of x equal to 0. 1 equal to natural log of x. X equal to e. Now plug it back into e. So it'll be natural log of e over e is equal to 1 over e. So most of you guys does not have muscle minimum. I mean, you probably have to do a number line test. I didn't have to do number line test here because I won't have time. I mean, I should actually. 21. Oh, 21. Basically, you have to understand what's the definition of infinite. So this one will give you infinite. It's gonna give you 5.
Still going over this tomorrow.
Yeah, we will still go over, but you're gonna finish the rest of them plus 2 more FRQ.
Tonight?
Yeah, because you're supposed to finish all the way to 45.
88 was B.
I'm not going to finish it.
So right answer B. I never explained B. I think I B. That's so weird.
45. Did you do 45? No, the band kid because they come home at very late. And I say you guys can finish at 28. Let's do it.
I completely forgot how to do that. I didn't know how, so I just picked the one that seemed the most physically possible because it was above. It was like faster than 4 feet a second. So the
Andrew, do you like the comment I put yesterday?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't finish, Mr. Yed, because like at 9 o'clock at night, my dad.
No. When I say Andrew Green is greater than Sheila.
Oh yeah. I put a little smiley face in the group chat.
You can see like Sheila's fuming inside a.
Yeah, she kept like saying so much stuff in the group chat. Like she didn't get it; it was just a joke.
No, she gets a joke, but still it hurts her. It hurts her pride so much.
I didn't finish the homework because my dad reminded me at like 9 o'clock that we had an exterminator coming for us, so I had to clear everything off of like the side of my wall so he could check that running. And it took me like an hour and a half. And it was already in the middle of the night. So I didn't finish the homework. I thought I had to do this. Yeah, he reminded me at 9 o'clock, so I like had to clean my whole room at 9 o'clock. Really annoying. So true, Mr. Ed. I still did most of the homework. I got to like 25-ish.
If you get 28, I'm happy. If you get 45, I'm pretty happy. Media Center. That's Calc BC. She was looking at Calc BC stuff like, what the hell is this? You had to be at 7:45, so 8. A media center.
Well, better than when I came home, I just kind of fell asleep for a while, and then
Oh my god,
yeah, no, but
It's if you have a 2 point the same height, A and B, and if it's continuous and differentiable.
I have to go. I just want to let you know I'm getting an MRI, so I'm not going to be here.
Why? Why are you getting a MRI?
I don't know. I went to the doctor and they said they have to check for I don't want to tell me what it is, so hopefully it's not that.
Physical damage.
Ah, you just might have a cancer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hopefully it's cancer.
Wait. Did you do your homework?
Yeah, I did it. I posted it on his book.
Please sleep. I didn't That's the dumbest
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Hopefully you don't have cancer.
Yeah.
that are made must be like granular or just like extremely
Okay, 2 points,
fluffy
A and B.
and like
Huh?
then again
2
some
points,
stuff is
A and B.
small.
Yeah, they have to have the same height. And they have to be continuous differentiable. So if that happened, then somewhere along the C, it must have, the slope must equal to 0. Because if you have the same height,
Yeah.
you can have infinite amount of point is equal to 0. Or you can have like one peak like this, 1 point is equal to 0. Or you can have 2 peak, you have 2 0. You can have infinite amount, you can have infinite amount 0 as well. So yeah.
You want those? Wait, do you want those? Oh, yes, please.
Mina, did you do your homework?
I did.
Okay, good. I don't have to make fun of the short guy.
The one that's been in plastic. I didn't wrap rolls and I didn't-
What's up, Jake?
Did you miss the king of calculus?
Yeah, the damn bank kid. Whining so much online yesterday. Too many questions. There's not 92 questions, you dumbass.
I'll be honest, I only did like 30 questions and I didn't submit it. So
Jess?
I didn't have time to see it. Yeah, I realized.
Why you don't have time?
I got so much shit. I got sports, I got church. Bro, Wednesday nights, bro, church.
Yeah, I'm like,
Where's Keelan? This is the 4th day in a row.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. She should.
She told me she's not gonna be there.
Do I need to be the responsible one around here?
I don't know. She's just
Actually, I
sleeping. I don't know.
No, she did tell me. She said she's not gonna
She
be
didn't tell you.
there. Yeah, she told me.
She did?
She said I'm not gonna be here today. But I think she went to some competition the day before the HOSA competition.
She had a competition for HOSA from like Saturday to Monday, and then Tuesday I don't know what she had, but Wednesday she had band. So I don't know what. I think it was just like she missed so much school, so she's probably just catching up today.
Well, she's with 2 English tests and an essay, and she's gonna have 2 quizzes tomorrow for it.
Yeah, but Sheila. She can do it.
Wait, is it tomorrow for Catcher in the Rye? Is that only halfway?
Yeah,
Then about 10 seconds.
Alright, well, if your page half is like I've opened the book.
I'm not. Wait, that's about 10 shots. I'm not. You read the book.